The top end variant of the Apache 200 comes at a price of almost 1,70,000 rupees on road. Yes, that is for a 200cc motorcycle. This is a 155, and for this you pay 20 or maybe 25,000 more in your city. That is the on-road cost of a 155 compared to a 200. But then if you look at the design, I guarantee you guys, anybody and everybody who's gonna pick between these two, is it for the styling? It's gonna be this, because although the Apache has been from its time, the design is a lot more mature. Here it just stands out, and that is why clearly have a winner. Now for the MT-15, this is the version 2, and finally it's got an update and it looks good. Not just that, because of the cyan color that's there, this color with Nardo grey finish, it's just mad. You get golden USD forks which are completely exposed. You get the same forks in the R15, but you can't see them. Here, freak! But if we enter into the functionality part, where there is bulk which is proportionate all over the place, there's good enough space for the rider as well as the pillion, and then there is this face which people have been complaining about because it doesn't look that good. That face is of a looker, it's of a transformer. Here something khichdi has happened, and now with an update there is a mustache which has come in between. So this one does not look as good, but functionality lot more. And number one being that the console over here on both the motorcycles is quite usable. You get a lot more details on the Yamaha, but then there are even more details on the Apache because you get connected features, you get navigation, you can connect your phone and get missed call alerts and all of that. Here on the Yamaha you get a small icon, and that's about it. The TVS's meter is a lot better placed. It is a little smaller in size, but the numbers are better visible because of the brightness. The Apache also gets adjustable levers, which is missing on the MT, and you get adjustable front fork as well, which is again missing on the MT. But then again you get USD forks, which, yeah, it looks good. Coming a little bit behind, you can actually see that this one, the Apache, gets a 12-liter fuel tank. The MT gets only a 10-liter. The seat height is a lot more accessible on the Apache because of an 800mm seat height. On the MT it's 810. But then the seat is a lot more cushion and a lot more better on the Apache for any kind of rider, be it old, be it young. You will like Apache's seat. On the MT, it is just a single piece, and I can't really see any space for the pillion. But while I've been complaining for the Apache, there is still some. And if I talk about the grab rail, you can actually grab onto it on the Apache, and that is not possible on the MT. Right now, everything was completely negative about the MT, but let me tell you one thing. This is still a 155, has less power compared to the 200, but it is a liquid cooled motor. It is a lot more refined. It has VVA inside. And if I compare the mileage numbers, the best I've got on the Apache is close to 40, max to max 42. On the MT, I've been getting close to 55 kilometers per liter because I've been riding it sanely. From a 150cc motorcycle which has so much performance, you don't really expect 55 kilometers per liter. Yeah, it's not just that, both the motorcycles weigh very differently. The MT is very light and the Apache has a lot more weight to carry, but then again they perform almost the same, although there is a decent amount of power difference. However, if I talk about the dynamics, there is a vast difference here because the Apache gets a double synchro stiff chassis that is made by TVS Racing on a racetrack. That is crazy. But the delta box frame, which is infamous and everyone has gone mad about it, has an overall better feel and feedback because this one rides like it has to conquer the road. The Apache feels a lot more comfortable. It is a lot more of a city bike. If you want to just have fun, corner everywhere, the MT does it for you because the chassis balance is such. The suspension setup is also very hard on the MT, and if you go over bad bumps or anything like that, you will just lose your back. But then if you are any younger, you will still like it because the MT is fun. Apache is a lot more matured here. Now, there's one thing that's there, that TVS Apache is not comfortable for tall riders. I'm just 5 feet 6 inches, and you can see right now that my foot is a lot more crammed over here. There is very less gap left between my bum and the shoe right here. So this portion is very crammed. Although you might not feel it if you're going for a short journey, but if you go any longer, you might feel it definitely. If I jump onto the MT, although the seat height is more, this one is a lot more tapered in, feels a lot more comfortable, and there's a lot more space for taller riders too. So anyone who's tall will actually lean in towards the MT because it feels a lot more suitable, and the upright riding posture is similar in both the motorcycles. But on the MT, you sit very upright. On the Apache, you lean in slightly because the handlebar is not really handlebar, it's like a clip-on unit mounted on a unit there. You might even see right now that the Apache is leaning a bit too much because of the stand structure that's there. But then there's a beneficial thing here that you get a main stand on the Apache that is missing on the MT. I forgot one more thing, that the Apache only gets a 5-speed gearbox. Here you get a 6-speed unit, and just because of that, this one is a lot more friendlier. Although you'll have to keep shifting, but this one does give you a better mileage because of that. If I talk about the ground clearance numbers, the Apache has 10 mm more ground clearance, that is 180 mm, which is the segment best, I'll say, because none of the motorcycles come close to 180. This one gets it at 170. Even though it does not have a main stand, it is still just 170. And that's not all. The MT gets better tires because 100 section front and a 140 rear, while the same on the TVS is a 90 section front and a 130 rear. Not much of a difference, but it matters when you corner hard. Last but not the least is the confidence that you get from both the motorcycles. In the Apache, you do get an oil cooler. This one is a liquid cool and everything is sorted. The engine is just nice, but the Apache feels a lot more harsh in the top end because once you ring it open, there are good amount of vibrations coming all over the motorcycle. The MT is a lot more smoother, but once you have to stop it, the brakes on the Apache are a lot more better, plus you get dual channel ABS on them. Here you only get a single channel unit and the brakes are good enough, but the moment you lock the rear, it just slides everywhere. So that is a bit of a problem, and even though this motorcycle costs close to 2 lakh rupees, you don't get a dual channel ABS. I still don't understand why. Let me make you hear the exhaust note. This Yamaha is a very rev happy engine for the top end, but the Apache, it feels more livelier in the mid-range. Even if you look at the overall fit and finish, the MT-15 and the Apache don't go too far because the fit finish on both the motorcycles is just about average, MT having a little bit of an upper notch. However, the switch gear on the MT is just very basic because on the right hand side you do get a kill switch and a startup button, but they are put in a very small unit, cost saving right then and there. And on the left, I don't know what is wrong with you Japanese guys here. Honda did it again and Yamaha does it again. The horn and the indicator switch, the position is switched. The whole shoot, I've been trying to honk somebody and I've been just pressing the indicator button. And when I want to change lanes and show the indicator, I'm doing this. Like, why? So that was an example for you guys to like see or hear how the horn is. And for the Apache, it is definitely a bit better. The moment you look at the switch gear of the Apache, it also feels a lot more better. You get multiple buttons, the overall build quality is also nice, and not just that, you get 3 riding modes on the Apache, and those riding modes, they do alter the power and torque in urban and rain, and there's a difference in the sport mode, and there is a difference in the ABS intrusion as well. So that is a lot more advanced for a lot less price than what Yamaha has to offer from the MT. Going a little more into the depth, you can definitely notice that the Apache still gets a box section swing arm, but the MT-15 now gets an aluminum swing arm. So the dynamics, yes, it affects quite a lot. And that is not all. If you see the mug that's going around, the Apache is a lot more dirtier, but the lower half is, it does not send the mug all over the rear seat. Here, my hand has gotten dirty quite a lot of times because the MT just gets dirty all over the place. The whole point of today's review was to convince you guys that the TVS Apache RTR 200 4V with riding modes and dual channel ABS is a better motorcycle than the Yamaha MT-15. But then again, you guys, I know, will definitely go ahead and pick the Yamaha MT-15, put a premium to it because it is a standard motorcycle. It just looks good and you'll get more followers on Instagram just because of this motorcycle. But is there any other motorcycle in this segment that is a bit better or serves the purpose and fits in your budget if you are tight on it? Yes, there is one, and that is nothing else but the Suzuki Gixxer SF. You get, for the price that is 5,000 less than the Apache, a fully fed motorcycle 150cc that gives decent mileage and has like good set of everything. It's not just that. If you're considering in the mix, the Hornet 2.0 also fits well. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.